Hello everyone, welcome back to Mindset Manor. We're tackling a grave issue that's spreading across Canada. The Canadian housing crisis of 2023. It impacts all, whether you're aspiring to own your first house, looking for a rental, or worried for community welfare. You're probably pondering, what's the housing crisis about? It's a multifaceted problem with contributing factors. Exorbitant house prices, insufficient affordable homes, escalating rents, increased homelessness, speculative actions, and disputed government policies collectively intensify this issue. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is going on with this housing crisis? It's like a puzzle with many pieces, and each piece is a different problem. The first piece of the puzzle, skyrocketing home prices. Consider this, you've been saving diligently for a house down payment. You've made financial sacrifices to achieve the dream of home ownership. Every month you put aside a part of your income, slowly building your nest egg for the initial payment. But despite this, your dream home seems out of reach. Why is that so? The answer is straightforward yet multifaceted. Home prices are surging. They're rising faster than your savings. This rise in prices is outpacing your earnest efforts to save. It's disconcerting to see the price tag on homes inflate while your savings seem to lag behind. You're in a race where the finish line, your dream house, instead of nearing with each step, keeps moving further. It's comparable to participating in a marathon, where the tantalizing finish line, instead of getting closer with every stride, keeps moving further and further away. Next, there's the shortage of affordable housing. Imagine this predicament as a bustling dining establishment, teeming with hungry patrons, but sadly, with an inadequate number of tables to cater to everyone. This is an apt metaphor to understand the pressing issue of housing shortage, especially in the pulsating hearts of major cities, where the hunger for a place to call home has reached staggering proportions. The balance between supply and demand in these housing markets has been drastically tipped, with demand grossly overshadowing the supply. This imbalance, like a perpetual tug of war, with one side outweighing the other, has inevitably resulted in the inflation of property prices. It's this ongoing demand-supply battle that's been steadily and rather alarmingly driving up the costs of housing, pushing prices up. Then we have rising rents. This issue stands as an unwelcome challenge, a daunting difficulty that is constantly looming over the citizens. We're witnessing a paradigm where it's becoming increasingly strenuous to discover rental properties that are affordable and within reach. You see, it's akin to shelling out extravagant amounts for something as fundamental as shelter, a basic necessity of life. It's a scenario where the average dweller is coerced into expending a significant portion of their hard-earned income on accommodation alone. Can you picture that? Paying premium prices for a humble abode, for a basic accommodation, it's a tough pill to swallow. Sadly, for a considerable number of Canadians, this isn't merely an abstract concept or a distant fear. Indeed, it's a harsh reality. And of course, we cannot ignore the issue of homelessness. It's a complex social problem that continues to persist in our society. In the heart of our thriving cities, amidst the grandeur and opulence, lies a stark contrast. Individuals and families who lack a basic human necessity, a home. The sight of this disparity can bring a lump in your throat, making you question the very fabric of our society. Walking down the streets, you can often see people huddled in corners trying to protect themselves from the harsh weather. Their eyes hold stories of struggle, despair, and hope at the same time. Children, unaware of their circumstances, play in these corners, oblivious to the hardships that their innocent faces conceal. This is not just a matter of lack of affordable housing. It's a systemic problem that needs comprehensive solutions. It's about adequate employment opportunities, mental health support, and prevention of substance abuse. Every individual we see on the streets represents a failure of our society, a dent in our collective consciousness. They are constant reminders of the work that needs to be done, of the miles we are yet to tread to create a humane society. We as a community need to step up, contribute to charities, volunteer, and participate in government initiatives that strive to eradicate this issue. It's a heartbreaking sight to see individuals and families without a place to call home. There's also the issue of speculative practices. This practice is prevalent when the demand for housing outweighs the supply, opening an avenue for investors to swoop in and seize the opportunity. We find this commonly among individuals who purchase properties not for personal use or to provide a home for their family, but with the sole intent of selling them at a profit later. priority is not to cultivate a community, but to capitalize on a booming market. This phenomena, often referred to as house flipping, drives up the cost of housing, consequently creating a barrier for regular folks who are simply looking to buy a home. It fosters an environment that seems akin to a high-stakes game, where only a select few players are winning. Finally, government policies come into play. As we explore this complex issue, it's crucial to understand that people's perspectives vary greatly. Some individuals have strong faith in the government's actions and initiatives, believing that the wheels of change move slowly but surely. They argue that the complexity of the crisis necessitates careful deliberation and planning, thus justifying the perceived slow response by the government. On the other hand, there are those who are vociferously critical, arguing passionately that the government isn't doing nearly enough to address the crisis. They assert that the urgency of the situation demands swift and decisive action, regardless of the complexity involved. Both sides present compelling arguments, fueling the fiery debates that continue to rage on different platforms. This dichotomy of perspectives makes it a contentious point of discussion. The government's role in addressing crises, the effectiveness of their policies, and the speed at which they're implemented. These are all facets we'll delve into in future videos. It's a contentious point that we'll delve into in future videos. Now that we've outlined the problem, let's delve deeper into the potential solutions. Affordable housing initiatives are the first step. They will provide shelter to those unable to afford the steep market prices. Next, we have rent control measures designed to prevent landlords from hiking rental prices on a whim, creating stability for renters. The support for vulnerable populations is also crucial here, ensuring they have access to safe, affordable homes. Regulatory reforms are necessary to revise outdated housing laws and promote fair housing practices. Lastly, innovative housing solutions, new ways of creating and managing housing, are vital. They could include co-living spaces or modular homes. These solutions are all on the table. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the Canadian housing crisis of 2023. This issue is intricate with many layers to peel back. It's crisis with roots in systemic issues and economic imbalances. We're all stakeholders in this situation, having the power to influence change. Advocacy and awareness are key. With every conversation we spark, every awareness we raise, we are acting as agents of change. Affordable housing is not just a dream, but a future we can manifest. Let's join hands in this endeavor. If this video resonated with you, feel free to like, share, and hit that subscribe button for Mindset Manor. Be a part of this narrative, keep the conversation going, and see you in the next video.